14th, and we're meeting with Fred Miller and Steve Shuey and Reiny Friedrich, the three of us, and we're at the job site. So go from there. Tonight, I hope we'll be able to go through some detailed items that Bob Jr. wrote me about. But to set the context for this, several months ago, I indicated some frustration with the exposure of this unit to the elements, and the length of time that this unit was taking, and which caused more exposure of the interior, especially the wood area, to the elements. Specifically, I became very intense once the first floor got covered up and the swim spa got placed downstairs. Because at that point in time, I felt that it was time for the basement to quit taking on water. And there have been numerous times, I would say at least 6 times, that I'm personally aware of that the basement has flooded to the extent to where the spa has flooded. Yeah. This is my question, okay. Many of these have occurred after some framing below the level of that spa. And there is some framing areas where it's my feeling have been underwater in excess of 60 hours total over several flooding instances. Is this framing that is structural, or what is this framing? No, it's just wood that's going to, in my opinion, is going to rot and or mildew. Should this be replaced? That's, I'm not the expert, but I'm certainly raising the question. Okay. I'm certainly raising the question. 2 floods ago, I made the statement to Bob Jr. that if the basement flooded one more time, then I was going to cancel the contract. And my letter occurred after that one more time. And that's the first time that I feel that I've gotten Bob Jr.'s attention that the basement flooding is a serious issue. Now, I can't account for my relationship with Steve because, frankly, I rely on Bob Jr. He's running the project, and I feel that if I tell him something, then I've told the company something. That's right. Okay. Bob disagrees with me violently, doesn't feel that the things that I have said have happened. Okay. That's where I stand right now. I'm concerned enough that there is enough hidden damage that it's not something I'm willing to buy into. Steve, I don't know if you have any, from the structural. You don't take this stuff personally.
From structurally, as far as I know, we can tear some sheetrock off to prove it, but most of your wood sits outside, Fred, over a number of period of time, before we get it to our job site, so it has a chance to take on moisture as it goes along. I was unaware that it's been that many times that the pool has been up. I know too that you and I have looked at and done that. The water that we've taken on, I don't think we have a problem, but like I said, we can take some sheetrock off. We've gone on the first floor, the water, we went through and cleaned up all the mildew, and whether this house would have been dry from the get-go to when we put this gyp feed in, you still have a problem with mildew when you put that gyp feed in, when you tighten it up. We have the same problem on an apartment house. It was in the dry, been in the dry for a couple weeks, before we even never put this in, never had any mildew, put this in.
And I understand that you feel that way. I believe that it was highly complicated by a flooded basement that occurred at exactly the same time.
It could have. I won't deny that that's a possibility that it added to it. Moisture, because you had moisture down there, moisture from this, so I wouldn't say that was exclusively. If we would have had no moisture, I still think we would have had the problem with the mildew. Sure. In my opinion, because I've seen it in 3 or 4 different jobs that we put gyp feed on. That's the number I can count off right now. Off the top of my head, I haven't. We did a lot of gyp feed before I was in charge. We did have a couple that I remember when I was coming up through the company that we had a problem. 2 since I've been in charge, besides yours, that we had mildew problem. And it was 3rd floor that we had problems with it. So it was on an apartment. So yeah, it's not a house, but it's an apartment. Same scenario.
My experience with mildew is pretty serious, that lots of attempts to get rid of it don't get rid of it.
Well, generally, and I talked to the painting guy too, because, you know, I know you're concerned, so that's the reason you see the different color on the bottom. Because I asked him, okay, I says, now, we've had concerns on mildew, what can we do? And when I talked to him, I said, we went through and took bleach and cleaned it all up, and then, but I want to make sure it doesn't come back and bleed through. He said, well, I'll tell you what, once you have the drywall sprayed it, if it hadn't come back then, generally speaking, it's all gone. If it doesn't show up then, when you paint it the first time, you put the primer on, it'll bring it out. Because anytime you add moisture to mildew, I'm not a scientist, so I'm not positive. This is what he's telling me. You bring out the mildew back into it, because you just added water to germinate it and make it grow again. We didn't have any problem with that, but we went ahead and killed it all, just to make sure the stain block killed it all and don't come through. It's a very highly kills type of material that we put on there. So I think, I would tell you this, I'm 99.9% sure that we've killed everything on this first floor.
Okay. I'm 99% sure that you killed everything that's visible. I'm extremely uncomfortable with what's behind the drywall.
Okay.
It seems to me that at a very minimum, some sampling is required. I guess one of the things we've got to agree on is that that's an issue.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know, I'm not denying it. I want to take a look at it and prove that, or one way or the other, whether it's gone or not gone. I don't have a problem.
Now let's go down a level and know that this sheetrock and furring material has been up and that it has flooded, okay, and that the walls have also been leaking.
Okay, let's go down. Okay,
We can take a look. And there was a big wet spot here, and this seam is weeping.
The seam is weeping?
Yep.
Okay.
The seam is wet. The floor here. Yep.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And which sort of, I think, is why the fan's here now.
No, I turned the fan on just to keep, because I felt when I walked down the stairs, I felt humidity in the air.
I take back what I said.
No, I turned the fan on personally. I got when I walked down with the painting upstairs and all the humidity in the air, I walked downstairs and I said, I got way too much humidity down here. I can feel the humidity. You can cut the humidity with the rubber knife over when I come down. And I noticed that this crack with some condensation in there wetting. I didn't see a big puddle or anything when I seen it.
Yeah, the puddle was like right here.
Okay, the puddle was not there.
Enough so that you would slip on mud.
Okay. Now, I came down here last Thursday night. We had I think I don't know. I'm not sure of the exact amount. I know we had done an inch of rain. Now, I don't know if exactly we had an inch of rain here at this particular site, but I know I had an inch of rain up at my house, which is only 1408 Top Hollow, which is right on the road here, mile away. And I had an inch of my rain gauge, so I'm guessing we had close to that here. And I came down like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and there was no water in the basement at all.
Okay.
There was no water in the pool area down below. It was wet yet from the time, since it had not dried out yet, from the previous moisture that was down in here.